Also concerned about issues in the world. You saw Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in Iraq yesterday, meeting with officials there, concerned about Iranians' possible threats against U.S. troops. Has Congress been briefed about what's going on?
We've asked for the briefing, and I think we're negotiating on what that is. I said today or tomorrow, we want to know right away, because there's some people are saying the administration is
preparing for war.
Well, and they're not, and they're describing things in a way that is not consistent with the facts. But we'll see. This does give us the briefing. We've had no success in getting briefings in Congress of the United States on North Korea. They just haven't. They've just said no, we're not coming. And that again is how are we going to do our job if they're not giving us the information? We have to depend on what they tell us is happening there. And he's in love with Kim Jong-un. Well, we're not. So let's have that briefing. So hopefully today or tomorrow. Now, I've been to Bahrain, and I've seen at the Office of Naval Intelligence there, which is their intelligence, and you can see Iran practically from where our ship, our presence is. So if there's some threat to us, we want to know about it. But the fact is that in terms of Iran, it's really hard to understand the agenda that the president has brought to the table. What bidding is he doing? To walk away from the Iran nuclear agreement, and that is something that is very important to us, to stop a country from producing a nuclear weapon. And they walked away from that. Now the Iranians are saying they may walk away from it as well, which would be very dangerous to the world. This ratcheting up, we want to see the briefing. It's hard to speak about it without seeing.
Do you think, Speaker, that this administration is considering military action against Iran?
Well, if they're considering military action against Iran, they cannot engage in that without coming to Congress, and they have to make their case. I read someplace that it may not be so, but I read someplace, it is so that I read someplace that Pompeo is saying we can use the authorization for the use of force that took us into Afghanistan as the basis for going here. That's just simply not so. It's simply not so. And so they would have to make their case. There is no appetite in our country for war. We have to have peaceful resolution of whatever it is. And if you're not capable of that, then that's something that has to be part of the national discussion. Same thing in Venezuela. We have to have a peaceful resolution of what is happening there, but I don't put that in the same category of the threats that they're making in Iran. It's really sad, because the Iran nuclear agreement was an actually masterful diplomatic achievement to have China and Russia, who never want to say anything against Iran. Why? Because Iran is a Muslim state that could export some fundamentalism to their regions, and anyway, they had their own pragmatic reason why they would never say anything about Iran, but they did in this case. The Nobel laureates of nuclear physicists and the rest of that, they said this should be the model, the template for any agreements on non-proliferation that we have. So from a technical standpoint, from a diplomatic standpoint, it just is a remarkable achievement. But the president wanted to undo that, and now it's really, without getting the briefing, it's very hard to understand. I really don't even want to go there, because this is deadly serious. What they're talking about, and until we get the briefing, I just don't. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing.